Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Homeschooling with Zena. In the future, we're going to have a lot of very fun things. So I did something. Our next lesson is going to be very surprising, and it's going to be exploring Shanghai, and that will be the next episode. So I hope you will enjoy that one. Um, I'm sorry for the lighting because there's a problem with my computer, so I'm forced to sit here in this position because of the light. So I have to have artificial light. I can't have that light because I can't see my screen. So there's something wrong. I'm buying a new computer in a couple of weeks, so it should fix the problem, and we should have full HD effect soon. Okay, so anyway, the new lesson that we're going to do today, now we're going to Ancient Greece Part 2.
Yes, and the next lesson is ancient India.
Yep, well, that's the next unit, but we still have 10 of these units here. So you can see what we're going to be doing.
There's 2 units left to do.
And Athena gets a city, so that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm not sure if these are going to have stories or not. I think it's going to be a lot of reading, but we will see. Okay, so what are the objectives? Learn about Greek city states and the differences between two strong rivals. A rival. Do you know what a rival is?
What is a rival?
Okay, do you know when we watch Dragon Ball Z?
Yes.
And you have Goku, right? And his rival is probably Frieza. That's his strongest enemy.
Oh.
Okay? Or his rival could be Vegeta.
You mean the strongest enemy?
Yeah, like his strongest enemy. Like Spider Man's rival is who?
Is it Venom?
Yeah, exactly. So that's basically what it is. What is a rival? Okay? So who do you think Greek's rival was? Greece's rival. Sorry. You know. Come on, think about it.
You mean Troy?
Yeah, see? Troy. Maybe it's Troy, right? So, learn about Greek city states and the differences between two strong rivals, Athens and Sparta. Oh, okay. So, Athens and Sparta are two rivals, but they're also Greek, all right? Then travel to the Persian Empire and meet Darius, the ruler who waged war against Greece. Meet the philosophers. Do you know what a philosopher is? A philosopher is someone who can speak very well. They will teach you about some things, and they make you think. Like, who was a philosopher and a science? Um, Stephen. Do you remember?
Hawkes.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking. He's like a philosopher, kind of.
Very.
Okay. Very smart and intelligent. Okay. Meet the philosophers Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. Learn how the Greeks fought each other during the, wow, that's a hard word, Peloponnesian War. Peloponnesian War.
Peloponnesian.
But were later conquered by Alexander the Great. Okay.
Alexander the Great.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna learn about it. Can you read that?
The city of
Athens.
Athens was named after Athens.
Athena.
Athena. goddess of wisdom. The ancient
Athenians.
Athenians told a story about why their city was named after Athena.
Okay, good. What do we call the stories that ancient Greeks told about their gods, their heroes, and about how some things came to be?
Myth.
Good. What is the name of the great Greek poet who gave us the stories of the Iliad and the Odyssey?
Homer.
Very good. How were the Greek gods and goddesses like people?
They need to eat, they need to sleep. They sometimes good and sometimes bad.
Good. How were the Greek gods and goddesses different than people?
They can live forever.
Okay, very good. Where did when you say they can live forever, we can say they're immortal.
Immortal means
Immortal means I can live forever.
and never die.
Right.
Who is the king of the Greek god?
Well, where did the Greeks believe their gods lived?
Mount Olympus.
Good. And who was the king of the Greek gods and goddesses?
Zeus.
All right. Can you read that? Athens.
Athens was the greatest city in all the Greece.
All of Greece.
It had wise leaders and beautiful buildings filled with art. The people of Athens were proud of their city and told this myth about how it got its name.
Okay, visit the reading room and read Athena Gets a City. So
Reading room with audio.
So this is a
Greece map.
Ancient Greece.
Look, this is
Sparta and Athens were. Let's see if we can find. Sparta is. I'm trying to make it. Okay. So this is Athens and Sparta. And this is Troy. This is Ithaca. Who was the king of Ithaca? Do you remember?
Ithaca.
Who was the king of Ithaca?
You remember too much king's
Oh,
name.
come on. You can know. He's the one who thought of the horse.
Oh, this is?
Yes, he was the king of Ithaca.
Oh.
Okay.
Athena Gets a City. A very long time ago, the gods and goddesses of Greece lived on Mount Olympus. One day, a few of them were lounging around the palace, eating and drinking, when they noticed that Zeus, king of the gods, had been quiet for a long while. The others left him alone, for they understood that kings need time to think. At last, Zeus spoke. "We should build a city where mortals can live and be happy," he announced. "And because this city shall be the greatest on earth, I will name it after one of you." Zeus then blinked his eyes to clear them of the misty air that covered Mount Olympus. He looked down, down, down through skies as blue as a new baby's eyes, through clouds as gray as tears. "I see a place," he cried. "There, near the Aegean Sea." Zeus pointed, and the other gods agreed that yes, this was the perfect place for a city. Then they began to argue, as the gods were known to do. "Whose name will grace the city?" asked one goddess. "Which of us will be its protector?" Poseidon, brother of Zeus, answered immediately. Because the god of the sea was well known for his bad temper, everyone listened closely. "Zeus has chosen a spot near the sea," Poseidon said. "Ships will sail in and out of the harbor, bringing merchants from all over the world, and it will become a great seaport. Since I am god of the sea, it only makes sense that Zeus should name the new city after me." "Ah, but you are wrong," answered Athena, goddess of wisdom and the daughter of Zeus. "The city will become a center of art. Great teachers will start schools, and people will respect learning and knowledge. I am the goddess of wisdom, so the city should be named after me." The other gods and goddesses began to discuss the issue. Soon they were chattering like sparrows. "Stop!" Zeus cried. "We will settle the argument fairly." Zeus appointed a special council of gods and goddesses and ordered them to meet on the site of the future city. There, from his golden throne, he spoke to the crowd. "Hear me," he said in his kingly voice. "You have come to judge whether Poseidon or Athena should be guardian of the new city. Listen to each one and decide who will bring a better gift for the mortals." Zeus bowed slightly toward his brother. "God of the sea, you may speak first." Poseidon stood up before the council, tall and magnificent. As he rose, water flowed over his shoulders and streamed through his long beard. In one hand he carried a trident, a long spear with 3 points. Without a word, the god of the sea thrust his trident into the ground where he stood. The earth rumbled and shook. When a giant crack appeared, the gods and goddesses gasped. Quickly they backed up so they wouldn't fall into the opening. Suddenly, a splendid white horse clambered out of the gap. It neighed and tossed its head as if to say, "I am the noblest animal in the world." "Here is my gift," Poseidon announced. "Mortals can ride horses into battle and protect themselves from enemies. What more useful present could anyone receive than this glorious beast, this brave war horse?" To make his point, the god of the sea lightly tapped the trident on the ground, and the earth quivered. Pleased with himself, Poseidon sat down. The council members nodded, though a few, who were still shaken by Poseidon's earthquake, looked doubtful. "Now," said Zeus, "we will hear from my daughter, Athena." Gray-eyed Athena rose and faced the council. Lovely robes flowed around the goddess, and a graceful cloak hung about her shoulders. Without a word, Athena leaned over and gently touched the ground. Where her hand grazed the earth, a small green sprout appeared. The council watched the sprout grow into a single stalk. The stalk then grew into a plant with leaves, and before their eyes the plant became a bush with branches that arched in all directions. Leaves and blossoms appeared on the branches, and soon the bush was covered with green fruit. "What gift could be better than the olive tree?" Athena asked. "Poseidon's horses will only bring fighting and pain to mortals, but the olive tree will bring them peace and plenty." The council members began to whisper among themselves. Occasionally a word escaped. "Warhorse, peace, perhaps, no, yes." Zeus grew impatient. "Will the council make up its mind?" he thundered. "What is your decision?" The group spoke as one. It is better for a place to be known for peace and plenty than for war, they declared. The city shall be called Athens, after Athena. Zeus was satisfied with the answer. The council had chosen well, he thought. From that day on, mortals began to settle in the spot Zeus had chosen. Athens grew larger and more beautiful until there was no place in the world as fair and wondrous. On a nearby hill, the townspeople built a temple to their protector, Athena, goddess of wisdom. The olive tree that she had given them grew and gave birth to more olive trees. To this day, Athenians eat olives, share them with people around the world, and enjoy the shade of Athena's wise gift, the olive tree.
Okay, so this is the final product, as you can see. Zena, relax, all right. So the name is Poseidon, and then he's the god of the sea. And then we have Athena, and she's the goddess of wisdom, and that's basically the workbook. And then there is there are 4 questions that she's going to answer right now, and then after that, that will just basically conclude the lesson for today. She will answer these questions, which she has already answered by orally, but she has to write them down, to practice her, I guess, writing skills. So we have that. Okay, so we already know that. See, so it just reiterates what the story's about, but my daughter, she already knows these things, so I don't have to reiterate it. Repetition is the mother of skill, right? But she knows that. And then you have the assessment. So we can take the assessment, and those are the 4 questions that were there. So you have the answer sheet if you want to do it like that. All right. Who is the city of Athens named after?
Athena.
Okay, very good. And what gift did Athena bring to the mortals?
Olive tree.
Okay, see. What was Athena the goddess of?
Wisdom.
And what was Poseidon the god of?
Sea.
Okay, so there you go. So I'll just press yes, yes, submit, and then that ought to be 100, and then Zena will write that down, right? Continue with lesson. So each lesson will take about between 25 and 30 minutes. They say an hour and a half, but it doesn't take that long. Only if you do these kind of construction paper stuff and all this. I really don't do that because we have too many other classes. So she doesn't need to. Sometimes I would do something like this. Sometimes, most of the time, no. The most important thing is for her to retain knowledge, the details of these things. So then I add the attendance, and that's the conclusion of this lesson. So we hope that you return for the next lesson, which will be, I have to check. Okay? All right. And see you guys. Say bye, Zena.
Bye.